We'll call the meeting to order. We have a mix of folks attending today, both in person and virtually. If we could just get a attendance taken of who is virtual and who is in the room, please.
Supervisor Barrett, Supervisor Grasso,
Here.
Supervisor Tallison, Supervisor Veach,
Here.
Supervisor Winnie. She's on the phone. Supervisor Wood.
Here.
Great, thank you. So we have Supervisors Winnie and Wood appearing via phone. Everyone else is in person. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the November 10th, 2021 meeting.
Supervisor Wood, make the motion.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Resolution.
I'm sorry.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Veach. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. So we have a thick agenda to get through today. I'll do our best to do it expeditiously, and we'll start with Health and Human Services. County Administrator Bolger, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, everybody. First item under Health and Human Services, authorizing a renewal agreement with Captain Community Human Services, Inc. for in-home respite care services. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. This renewal agreement will be for a total of 3 years, with each calendar year not to exceed the sum of $35,000. The agreement will allow Captain Community Human Services to provide respite services to infants and toddlers with developmental delays and disabilities. Next item, authorizing a renewal agreement with James McGinnis and Associates, Inc. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. This agreement will allow James McGinnis and Associates to continue providing maintenance and support of a federal and state Medicaid compliance reporting system. Next item, approving the Saratoga County Child and Family Services Annual Plan Update for 2021-2022. Budget impact, none. Local departments of social services and county youth bureaus are required to develop and submit multi-year plans for the provision of services and the allocation of resources. This resolution will allow the chairman of the board to sign and approve the annual plan update for the Saratoga County Children and Family Services Plan. Next item, authorizing the acceptance of additional funds from New York State Office of Children and Family Services for the Safe Harbor New York program, authorizing a renewal agreement with Saratoga Center for the Family, amending the 2022 county tentative budget in relation thereto. Budget impact, none. 100% state aid. Saratoga County has been provided with an unanticipated allocation of $43,350 for the development and implementation of the Safe Harbor programming, which provides critical services to meet the needs of youth who are identified as victims of trafficking and or exploitation.
Any questions from anyone on any of those items? Motion? Supervisor Tolleson, second.
Second.
Supervisor Veach, thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Legislative and research is next.
Okay. Only item on legislative and research, approving the 2021 Saratoga County Legislative Program Update. Budget impact, none. Outlined in this program are legislative items the Board of Supervisors has identified as priorities for the upcoming legislative sessions.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on that item? Supervisor Tolleson, second.
Second.
Supervisor Veach, thank you. Discussion of a motion?
Chairman, may I ask a question?
Yes, Supervisor Gass.
As it's not attached to this, I just wanted to make sure there was a discussion about attaching an item requesting a change in municipal home rule. I just wanted to make sure that that had been added to the agenda.
I see the county attorney giving thumbs up on that.
All right, great. I just wanted to confirm that. Thank you.
Great. No problem. Any other questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, and takes us to buildings and grounds.
Okay. Buildings and Grounds, authorizing an agreement with American Commercial Cleaning Company, LLC, for cleaning services at the county's Mental Health and Addiction Services Department. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. American Commercial Cleaning Company was determined to be the best available service provider with 3 total bids received by the county. Terms for this agreement include a 1-year agreement in the amount of $1,900 per month with 3 one-year renewal options.
Great, thank you. Is there a motion on that?
So moved.
Supervisor Beach, second.
A second.
Sorry, Supervisor Grasso, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Brings us to public safety.
Okay, first item, authorizing a renewal agreement with NMS Labs for the period from January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022 for postmortem toxicological services. The terms for this agreement, budget impact none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. The terms for this agreement will be similar to the previous year's agreement and will include a not to exceed amount of $75,000. Next item, authorizing a 5-year agreement with Axon Enterprises, Inc. for body-worn and in-car cameras, taser, and evidence.com equipment and web-hosted software. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the county's tentative 2022 budget. As a result of Executive Order 203, the Board of Supervisors adopted a plan in March of this year recommending the sheriff institute a body-worn and in-car camera program. With this agreement, Axon will provide necessary equipment and software to address this recommendation. This agreement will also consolidate existing Axon contracts for taser, drone equipment, and software. The total cost of this agreement over 5 years is estimated to be $3,075,541.23. Next item, authorizing a 3-year agreement with Lefta Systems for access to their hosted Shield internal affairs and training software platform. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. This software will be utilized by the Sheriff's Professional Standards Office and will replace the current function of filing paper records for internal affairs and training. This was also a recommendation resulting from Executive Order 203. Next item, authorizing acceptance of a New York State Supervision and Treatment Services for Juveniles Program STSJP grant and authorizing provider contracts through December 31st, 2022. Budget impact, none, 100% state aid. This grant provided by the New York State Office of Children and Family Services will be an amount up to $59,992 and aims to reduce juvenile detention usage while encouraging alternatives to detention and placement. Next item, authorizing a major contract with CBM Fabrications. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are available in the 2021 budget. OES currently has a minor contract in place with the vendor. The total anticipated cost of this project is $16,019.
Great, thank you. Is there a motion on these items? Supervisor Barrett, second. Supervisor Tolleson, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries, thank you. HR and insurance next.
Okay, first item, authorizing a 5-year agreement with Catalog and Commerce for a digital and automated system to handle the processing of civil service job applications. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. This software is capable of tracking candidates, positions, and employees. The software is also compliant with the New York State's civil service laws and the county's civil service rules. The total cost of this contract will be $32,500 spread out over 5 years. Next item, authorizing an agreement with Goldberg Segala LLP to complete professional legal services in comprehensive labor relations currently in progress. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget.
Thank you. We have a motion on those items.
Supervisor Witt?
Thank you. Supervisor, second.
I'll second.
Supervisor Grasso, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, carries. Brings us to Trails and Open Space.
Okay, one item under Trails and Open Space, authorizing the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to sign a memorandum of agreement between Saratoga County, the Open Space Institute, and Saratoga Plan for the Community Forest Project. Budget impact, none. This community forest project is in the towns of Greenfield and Wilton. The grant award from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service totals $391,000. These funds will act as a pass-through to go towards the purchase of property. All other costs of the project are being provided by project partners. The total project cost is estimated at $782,000.
Thank you. We have a motion on that item.
So moved.
Supervisor Grasso, second.
Second.
I'm sorry.
Supervisor Veach.
Supervisor Veach, thank you. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Brings us to Economic Development.
First item, approving the issuance of certain obligations by the Michigan Finance Authority to finance certain projects located in Saratoga County for St. Peter's Health Partners and affiliates as required by Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code of 1986. Budget impact, none. This resolution is at the request of the Saratoga County Capital Resource Corporation. CRC is assisting Trinity Health Corporation and their local affiliate, St. Peter's Health, to secure a large multi-state bond issuance. The local part of this project is scheduled improvements to the Schuyler Ridge facility in Clifton Park. This resolution does not obligate the county in any way, but will assist Trinity Health in financing the proposed improvements. Next item, designating the Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce as the county's tourism promotion agency and authorizing the Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce to apply for an I Love New York grant for 2022. Budget impact, none. Funds are allocated in the 2022 tentative budget. Next item, authorizing the issuance of a third quarter 2021 payment to the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership, Inc. for economic development services. Budget impact, none. Funds are allocated in the 2021 budget. This third quarter payment will be in the amount of $112,500 as set by tax law 1202-G, Section 9.
Thank you. Is there a motion on these? Supervisor Tolleson, second. Supervisor Barrett, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Public Works.
Okay, first item, authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds for the design, right-of-way incidentals, and acquisition work for the replacement of the Lasher Road Bridge over the Morningkill, town of Bolston, in the amount of $139,419. Budget impact, the county's 5% share totaling $1,271 will require an appropriation from the fund balance. Next item, authorizing a consultant agreement with Greenman Peterson, Inc. for the design and right-of-way incidental services related to the replacement of the Lasher Road Bridge over the Morningkill, town of Bolston, in the amount of $137,120. Budget impact, none.
Motion on those items? Supervisor Tolleson, second.
I'll second.
Supervisor Grasso, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Racing and Gaming is up next.
One item under racing and gaming, opposing proposed amendments to tax law to end racing subsidies. Budget impact, none. Opposition to these proposed changes for VLT revenue distribution is included in the Legislative and Research Committee priorities for next year.
I'd make a motion on this one that we defer and recommend this resolution over to Legislative and Research. This item is part of the Legislative and Research Committee's agenda for the upcoming legislative session, and it's really an item that should properly be under that committee. So I'd make that motion at this time. Second by Supervisor Barrett. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, are you saying that we're not doing a resolution from the board on this? Is that the idea?
Correct. It already falls under the resolution that we moved for legislative and research.
Well, I mean, I would just say that in the past, I think we've done resolutions from the board on these issues individually. Usually, in a lot of cases, what we would do is we would forward that to the city of Saratoga Springs as they host the racing. You know, they have the racetrack in their town and they use our language to send their own resolution down to the state. So if we do it in a legislative program, I guess that's fine. I just, sometimes it's stronger if it comes from the Board of Supervisors directly as an individual item. So that would just be my item on discussion. So.
Right, I just think it comes out of the legislative and research committee. Be my opinion on it.
Okay, so you're moving, what's the motion then?
To refer this resolution to legislative and research.
Okay,
As part of their legislative agenda.
okay.
Just a quick question on that.
Yes.
If we're supporting the legislative agenda already through legislative and research and that's in there, didn't we already take care of that resolution?
We did. That's my point.
So do we even need to refer it? It's already done.
So,
I don't care. As long as I understand supervisors from Saratoga Springs, I understand this is a big deal. So as long as it's taken care of already through the supporting the legislative program, I think we're covered. And it would come from the Board of Supervisors.
right, so can I speak, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
So there's two ways to do this, right? So one way is to do it through the legislative program, which this item gets put into a group of items, you know, as one of many that we send down to the state and lobby for our legislative, you know, caucus that we have down there that represents Saratoga County. So it's basically grouped in with a whole bunch of other items. Or you do this as an individual standalone resolution, which by itself goes down to them as an individual item. So again, coming from Saratoga Springs, I would say that I prefer to do it as an individual item because it has more weight that way. It's one thing that the entire board voted on to send down rather than one thing as part of a group of a whole bunch of other things that kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So, you know, for me, I would be in support of doing it the way we're doing it rather than tabling this or moving it to another committee or referring it. So just my opinion.
Sorry, Supervisor Gaston?
Thank you. Also, in addition to the benefits for the city and being able to use it as a resolution, as a single item, these subsidies would also impact our budget. There's approximately $1 million in VLT that comes to the county. So having it come as a separate resolution supported by the Board of Supervisors and the impact on our budget, I think that would also be more helpful than having it bunched in with some other, but I just wanted to make sure that the VLT that comes to the county as well was noted. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
All right, carries. Thank you. Veterans Affairs?
Okay, one item under Veterans Affairs, amending Resolution 107 of 2021 to authorize the transfer of unallocated 2021 Veterans Grant funding into the Saratoga County Veterans Trust and Agency Fund. Budget impact, none. This resolution will authorize an appropriation of unspent veteran program funds at the close of fiscal year to the Saratoga County Veterans Trust and Agency Fund. This grant program was established in 2021, where a total of $50,000 was set aside for municipalities to use for projects that would have a positive effect on the county's veteran population. Any unused funds from this $50,000 would be transferred into the Veterans Trust Fund to ensure the funds are used to assist veterans.
Motion on that?
Supervisor Winnie will make the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Law and Finance.
First item, authorizing an amendment to the agreement with DIRAD Technologies, Inc. for inbound and outbound call services to assist public health services with COVID-19 vaccine distribution. Budget impact, none. Costs associated with this contract will be covered by a Health Research, Inc. grant. The current agreement with Dirad Technologies is set to expire at the end of the year. This renewal agreement will be for the same terms as the previous agreement. Next item, authorizing an agreement with the Nurse Connection Staffing, Inc. for temporary RNs and LPNs for continued administration and distribution of COVID-19 vaccinations. Budget impact, none. Costs associated with this contract will be covered by a Health Research, Inc. grant. This agreement will be in an amount not to exceed $75,000. Public Health Services will be holding more COVID-19 vaccine booster clinics in the coming weeks and months. Next item, authorizing acceptance of a grant from the New York State Board of Elections for technology, innovation, and election resources. Budget impact, none, 100% state aid. The total amount of this grant will be for $260,371 and can be used for such things as technology upgrades and infrastructure to protect the security of the county elections software. Next item, authorizing the acceptance of a grant from the New York State Board of Elections for early voting expansion. Budget impact, none, 100% state aid. $28,929.86 was awarded from the New York State Board of Elections for the reimbursement of eligible expenses related to early voting expansion. Next item, authorizing a renewal agreement with NTS Data Services, Inc. for the maintenance and support of the Board of Elections voter database software. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 tentative budget. Total cost of the renewal agreement will be $62,624. The next three items were approved at the most recent Sewer Commission meeting held on December 2nd, 2021. Approving the purchase of 523 South Main Street, Mechanicville, New York by the Saratoga County Sewer District Number 1. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are available in the 2021 budget. The resolution will approve the purchase of 523 South Main Street in the town of Half Moon for the purchase price of $835,000 plus any required closing costs. The property is 10.17 acres within an area zoned for manufacturing and industrial uses. It will serve as storage for equipment, pipe, trucks, pumps, etc. for Saratoga County Sewer District Number 1. Next item, authorizing an agreement with Precision Trenchless LLC for work associated with pipe rehabilitation work in the town of Stillwater. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are available in the 2021 budget. This agreement will be in the amount of $659,025.46. Next item, authorizing an agreement with Delaware Engineering DPC for design services related to pipe rehabilitation work and a pump station upgrade in the town of Half Moon. Budget impact, none. Funds for this agreement are available in the 2021 budget. This agreement will be in the amount of $127,720. Next item, establishing January 5th, 2022 at 4 p.m. in the Board of Supervisors chambers as the date, time, and place of the 2022 organizational meeting of the Board of Supervisors. Budget impact, none. Next item, introduce a resolution to approve levy amounts payable to county treasurer and town supervisors. Budget impact, none. Real Property Tax Services is still working on inputting the rates into the computer system. We will have the final report as backup for the board meeting next week. The following 7 items are all associated with the adoption of the county's 2022 tentative budget. First, amending the 2022 tentative budget. Second, adopting the 2022-2026 Saratoga County Capital Plan. Third, authorizing 2022 agreements with various agencies. Fourth, adopting the 2022 Saratoga County Compensation Schedule and providing for the abolition and creation of certain positions. 5, setting 2022 salaries for certain temporary and part-time employees to include an increase for a 2% cost of living adjustment. 6, setting 2022 salaries for management and confidential employees to include an increase for a 2% cost of living adjustment. 7, introducing a local law to amend the 2022 county compensation schedule to provide salary increases and cost of living increases for certain county officials and setting a date for a public hearing thereon. These agenda items will be voted upon at the special board meeting scheduled for 4:45 p.m. today, December 8th, 2021.
Thank you. All right, thanks. Is there any other business coming before the board today? Oh, right. Sorry. Is there a motion on law and finance items?
So moved.
Thank you. Second? Supervisor Halls, thank you. Discussion on the motion? Correct. Correct. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any other business for the board? This time I'll accept a motion to set the agenda for the board meeting for December 15th, 2021. Second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adjourn?
Supervisor Witt?
Oh, sorry. We need to set the agenda. Yes, thank you. Motion to set the agenda for the special board meeting at 4:45 today for the remaining law and finance items. Supervisor Barrett.
Second.
Second.
Supervisor Beach.
Supervisor Beach, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Sorry about that. Lost there in those two. Is there a motion to adjourn? Supervisor Barrett, second.
Second. Second.
Second. Supervisor Lamp, you're not even on this committee, sir.
I'll second.
Supervisor Wood?
That was aggressive. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We're adjourned till the special board meeting at 4:45. Thank you. Good one.